It's another Saturday, which means it's time for only one thing. Buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, and hold on tight. The Matt Malone Patreon League is about to begin!
It started out as something small, a group of racers crashing into walls. Each week they would have some fun. Get ready for the bump and run. But now it's something more. Hold on to your butts. This is what you asked for. Get ready to go nuts. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. In May it all began for the first time. Had some incidents that could be classified as war crime. But it's never over until it's over. Still waiting for a rollover. What a way to pass the time. But make sure to hide your crimes. Are you ready for the next one? The league has just begun. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. A full-time streamer and a league organizer, a hot dogger and a merchandiser, an asset tech hero and a race lab god. Nothing he can do can make you bored. Matt Malone has the best mustache we ever did see. From his concrete days, he finally broke free. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. Are you ready? It's about to begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot dogging, it's Matt Malone.
And we are green, we are away here at Portland. Some slow starters in the background is going to make it 4, 5 wide as we head up towards turn number 1. Matty Gwill has the inside line. Matt Malone on the outside is going to have to give it up. A little bit of contact. Cars already round in the background. 3, 4 cars involved there off the racing circuit. Matty Gwill holds it. Eric Ostby Martin moves up into second. Matt Malone in third. Another car around. He gets collected by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Lots of cars being collected in the background there. Slugger, championship contender, has got a meatball flag. Roy Bauman moves up to 18th with a number of incidents. Didio Deadman out of this race as well. This is Eric Osby-Martin behind Matty Quill. How is he going to do it? The slipstream, and he just goes for it. Now Latufu trying to get past Matt Malone. Can he do it? Malone goes defensive because Malone is down to 4th on the start here. Side by side out in the lead. And that is going to be Martin onto the grass. Matty Grill regains the lead here. Is a further fight behind. We just can't see the fight for 6th and 10th because they're not in the session today. Matt Malone goes fastest, and through goes Richard Dempsey to the lead. Past Martin and Grill goes through to the lead. Here goes Matt Malone up the inside of Matty Quill for P2. Eric Martin follows through. He's going to fall down. Slugger's going to retain the championship lead at this point. Tied in points, around goes Checkers. If it continues at this pace, Malone once again getting the slipstream. Moves to the left-hand side, fighting it out for the lead up towards turn 1. Can Malone hold the lead? No. Dempsey's got the inside line as well. Tries to force Dempsey into a mistake. Dempsey extremely wide there. Almost cuts off Malone's nose. Malone doesn't touch for any slipstream because he's already there. Is he going to get enough overlap this time before turn number 1 to hold on to this position? Here comes Martin. Malone on the outside, Dempsey on the inside. Surely this is Dempsey's corner again. It is. Malone has to go to the outside line. He doesn't want to risk it jumping all the way to the inside. He's not had good race results lately. Even if he gets P2, it'll be his best result in weeks. He goes slightly wide. He just gets onto that curbing on the outside line. It opens the door here for Eric Martin. They're side by side. Malone's got the inside now, but it's going to swap over for turn 4. Martin's going to have the inside of Matt Malone. Matt Malone's going to allow it. He's going to go for the switch back and try to get the speed on the exit. A little bit of a slide from Martin here. It is going to be Dempsey under attack from Martin. Maybe Malone is giving Martin the opportunity to go for the lead here and really do some upset. But Martin doing the same line that Malone did last lap. Malone not able to get up the inside this time though. Is Martin going to look for the inside? No, he's not. He's going to go for that outside line once more. This is about the 8th time that someone has tried to go around the outside at this turn number 1. It's never worked out. It doesn't work out again. And Dempsey again, a slightly wide line and a wobble. Here goes Martin. He's going to get the push from Malone, surely, for the lead. Dempsey is going to have to give up the lead. He's down to 3rd. Matt Malone is into 2nd position, into the lead. He's got the inside into turn number 1. Dempsey is trying to follow him through behind Martin. Martin and Dempsey are side by side. Martin is going to be on the wider line. He can't do it. 2 laps to go. Richard Dempsey moves to the right. He's going to go for him. Matt Malone does not defend the inside line. He lets Dempsey have it. Why would he do that? You know the inside line is the stronger line, is the line you want all the way to the wall if he wants this position. Is he going to make it? He goes to the outside, the line that has not worked all race long. Dempsey holds the inside line. Surely it'll be the lead. Matt Malone holds it through turn 1. Through turn 2 he slides, but he's still there. He's up the inside of turn 3. All race long that outside line has not worked. Matt Malone has made it work. Dempsey's got the inside into turn 4. Is there going to be contact? There is a slight nudge. Dempsey's ahead though. Martin just behind. Malone in P2. What is going to happen here? They all follow each other. No. Martin wants to go for the inside. Matt Malone is there. Is he going to be 3 wide? Martin backs out. Malone does not back out. Side by side with Dempsey. He swaps over for turn 9. Dempsey's on the wide line. Matt Malone's on the inside line. Who's going to take this? It's going to be a drag race to the line. Dempsey's got the overlap. Richard Dempsey wins the 3rd time this season. Welcome back, racing fans, to the final event of the Matt Malone Patron League here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway in the classic Pontiac Soltice machines. With 10 rounds down and only one more to go, the opening round of the international... Let me try that down. With 10 rounds down and only one more to go, the championship fight is tied at the top. Between Matty Gwill and Slugger. Distracted there by some in-game sounds that I had turned off, which we don't have enabled here for this league. Dempsey leads the way with the most victories of the season, standing at 3, and Matty Gwill has the most poles of the season with 3 as well. Our focus today will be on the fight for first in the championship, but there are fights going on below as well. After a poor race last week, Slugger picked up his 5 drop points from an earlier race this season, which kept in lock with Gwill at the top of the standings. If you have missed any of the races so far, you can watch all race replays on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel. And if you don't have enough time to watch them all, the extended highlight videos are also available to watch. The Matt Malone Patron League continues here today at Daytona International Speedway. If you want to get behind the virtual wheel and go head to head against Matt Malone and all our other league personalities in Season 2, then head across to Matt Malone's Patreon and check it all out. This series is open to all Malone's Patriots, so we see a wide spread of skill level out on track each week. From those who have been racing on the service for more than a decade and those who have just jumped onto iRacing this year, our drivers are all sharing the same piece of virtual tarmac to attain those Matt Malone prizes at the end of the season. Heading into this last race of the season, let's check out the top 10 positions in the championship standings. And it is Matty Gwill at the top of those championships with 144 points. Gwill has first, even though he is tied with Slugger, because of the count back in the standings. Both have 2 victories each and both have 2 second place results each. However, Matty Gwill has got a 3rd position result this season, which Slugger can't match. That places Gwill at the top of the standings. 3rd in the standings, but apparently not racing tonight, Richard Dempsey has attended just over half of the races this season and has managed to take home the most victories. With every result placing him inside the top 5, how dominant may he have been if he was able to attend every week of the season? Matt Malone gained points for the first time in a few races last week with a 2nd place result at Portland. That moves him back into 4th place. Big Al is the last driver who could technically tie for the championship lead here today if we were to win. And Gwill and Slugger got no points. However, with count back, Big Al would just be your 3rd driver tied at the top, with the championship still going Matty Gwill's way. Out of the fight for the championship, but by no means out of a fight, are the 5 drivers going for 6th overall this season and taking the title of best of the rest. Nick Bowen sits 4 points clear of Stingray Graham. Fortunately for them both, they sit a further 8 points ahead of Meckham. Only a point behind that is Bob's Jelly, and a further 2 points back is Checkers. The World Centre of Racing owns its name. Host to the Daytona 500, the Rolex 24, Bike Week's Daytona 200, Daytona Kart Week, among countless others. The 2.5 mile oval and 3.56 mile road course is well known around the world. Only the second oval to be built longer than 1.25 miles, and the replacement to the old beach road course a few miles east, Daytona's high banks have held host to some of the most memorable moments in motorsport. And what a car to be driving around this track! 177 horsepower and almost a decade since it was last raced officially. The Pontiac Soltice is one of the slowest cars on the iRacing service. And what a great choice for the finale of the Matt Malone Patron League. I always find that the slower the car, the better the racing. So the championship stage is set. Get your popcorn ready. Get yourselves comfortable. The final round of the Matt Malone Patron League is here. And we are at Daytona for this one. It is going to be a fantastic event indeed in an extremely slow racing machine. But by no means a racing machine which we do not like. And I love it when it does this and does not use my custom logos. We will get sorted. I love it when it defaults there. Right. We have got 15 minutes left in this qualifying session. It was a 25-minute qualifying session. A few extra minutes to try and give the drivers an opportunity to get into the server. 15 cars with lap times right now. Make that 16 as Powski goes on for a racing lap there, as we are going to go and have a little look at him. Nick Bowen goes into second. Meckham tops the standings right now, half a second clear of championship contender Slugger. Now it's going to be important to look out for Slugger, who's in second, Matty Grill, who's in fourth, Big Al, who's in sixth, and Matt Malone, who's in ninth. No Richard Dempsey today, but the top 5 in the championship standings are the ones that we are going to want to keep an eye out today. In fact, I am going to make sure that we can see that today, as we will get that on the right hand side. That missing gap, just so you know, is Richard Dempsey. That's why we can't see him. He is not attending the race today, but we know that that third place gap is Richard Dempsey, so we'll keep an eye on that. In fact, this championship, the top 10 is important. No Checkers in the race at the moment. He's 10th in the championship, so really, we are looking at the top 10 in the championship. Richard Dempsey in that third place slot, and Checkers in the 10th place spot right now. But enough about that. Let's have a look at some of the drivers setting in lap times. It's Powski in 11th position. He is the 03 machine as he heads up towards the bus stop chicane. We're going to see a lot of bump drafting here, of course, a lot of side-by-side action. 20 minutes here with a lap time of over 2 minutes. We're going to see less than 10 laps, maybe 8 or 9 laps of racing. It's going to feel like a really short one, especially in these watching it from the broadcast. However, in the driver's eye, with how slow they are, it's not going to feel like a short one at all. Matty Grill is at the top of the qualifying order right now. That's what the championship leader is going to want. On the right hand side, it places Slugger on top, but Matty Grill is first on countback. We need to remember that championship standing will be up all race long, because we are going to be looking at the top 10 in the standings. Of course, over 60 drivers are in the official standings for the Matt Malone Patron League. It has been a fantastic one, and we will get as much as we can in the championship standings. Of course, any driver who is not attending today's race will not be visible in the championship standings. So I can only tell you the drivers that I know. and any drivers that is on the screen. So Mech Arm currently separating Matty Grill and Slugger. Half a second there though. That must be from toe. Now that's what you got to remember. If you can find somebody to work with here, you could severely improve your lap time. Have we seen that from Matty Grill and from Mech Arm, as that's the 25 machine going around, I believe. That's Totally Racing going around. As Slugger resets down to pit lane to go again. Vincent Patterman here, he's 17th in the session right now, heading up towards turn number 1. And for the first time, turn number 1 is turn number 1. It's a very long turn 1, but that whole turn 1 up until the kink back to the right is turn number 2, so that's lovely to see. Big Al sitting in 7th right now. Matt Malone moves himself up to 5th. That's going to impact the championship, of course, as well. With no Richard Dempsey, Matt Malone and Big Al could both jump past Richard Dempsey for 3rd in the championship. Now, Matt Malone does not get the prizes. Top 3 get prizes in the Matt Malone Patron League. Matt Malone is discounted from that. So right now, that would be... Of course, that would be Matty Grill and Slugger, and then it would be Richard Dempsey. If Big Al can jump, so can get 12 points here, and jump Richard Dempsey, he will get, even if he's behind Matt Malone, he will get the prizes for finishing 3rd in the championship, with Matt Malone being discounted. So just to make sure you are aware there. Can Slugger find somebody to work with? He is going slowly here on his outlap. It looks like he is trying to find somebody to work with. This is the game that is being played right now. Matty Grill has right-click to work with. It looks like it's a slow outlap here, but he has got right-click to work with. Slugger onto the banking, still can't find somebody. You can see the brake lights on, he's waiting, and here comes somebody. Is he going to pick them up? Who's it going to be? I can't tell who this is at the moment that he is going to try and pick up. He definitely picks up speed here. Who is that ahead of him on track? I can't find out who it is out on chat, but he slowed down again, so whoever it was pulled too far away. A train of drivers there, he doesn't want them either. Another car through, and is he going to be following them this time? He's still... I was about to say he still seems to be going pretty slow, but I think that's just the Solstice. It looks like he's got a nice little gap to the cars ahead that he could be getting a distant tow from them. That tow meaning so much. You can see the gap in drivers here. Only the top 5 are within a second of Matty Grill. To be fair, only the top 9 in a second of Slugger. There's a lot of drivers who are getting to grips with the Pontiac. It has been a very long time since this Solstice has been driven on the iRacing service by absolutely anyone. So drivers getting used to it, and for a lot of drivers learning it for the first ever time. 8 minutes on the clock here in the qualifying session. Has Slugger got somebody ahead of him? Let's ride on board here. He has got a distant tow ahead, but a car spinning out. That's not going to be good. He's gone a bit slower. He isn't going to be impacted by that spin, but he has now lost his tow ahead. Of course, qualifying isn't going to be everything here, with most of this track being on the oval, and in these type of cars, it is going to be all about who can get a good run onto that oval and up towards the line. That last lap is going to be where everything is decided, I'm sure. Extra Pickles moves up to 11th position in the 21 machine. Just behind Mintu, the white Husky. 502 machine, still can't find anyone. He's going very wide there in towards turn number 6, and very nice wide entrance. Actually gets him right to the curbing, and he could be getting a distant tow from the 14 and the 19. The 14 being Bob's Jelly. He's in 6th and fighting for top 10 position in the championship, and 19 being the Hernster. He's 18th. Getting a distant tow here. You could just listen to the gear shift there. It just sounds horrendous. The 502 though, trying to get himself up the order here in qualifying. 7 minutes left on the clock. as we head up towards the bus stop chicane. Matty Grill, championship leader, currently leading qualifying. Slugger second and tied in points, currently in third in qualifying. Then it's Richard Dempsey, he's not here today. Matt Malone's third, he's fifth, and then it's Big Al in fourth. Well, Matt Malone's technically fourth, he's in fifth. Big Al's in fifth, he's in seventh. And actually, it's quite funny, you've got championship contender and someone else, championship contender, someone else, championship contender, someone else, championship contender, someone else. And actually, do you know what? Mecharm, Nick Bowen, Bob's Jelly, let's say someone else, but look at the top 10 championship. All three of them, 7th, 8th, 9th, looking for points to try and take past Stingray Graham, who is in 9th position. He's not too far behind here. So that top 10, obviously Checkers, the only driver inside of the top 10. Oh, Checkers and Richard Dempsey, the two drivers inside of the top 10, not here today, so won't be able to gain. So therefore, we can actually discount Checkers from this championship fight. You can't discount Richard Dempsey from being able to hold on to third, but who's going to come out on top, Will or Slugger, is going to be the interesting one. They are the points as they stand heading up towards the race here, the final race of the season. 10 races so far, and it is level on points. No more points being dropped. Obviously, if this race is really bad, that's it. They have had bad races so much this season that nobody has points in hand going into this championship fight. That is inside the top 10. One driver in the entire field of drivers does actually have a drop points in hand. What that means is, in one race this season, this driver has fallen out of the championship points, the top 20. Everywhere else, he's finished inside the points, and that man is the #1 machine, Tony Jabroni. He has 1 point in hand, a 20th place finish, which is a drop event, which means that if he gets worse than 20th today, he will still get a point on the board. So he has at least 1 point heading his way at the end of this race. He's looking for more than that. Currently inside the top 10, definitely going for more of that. Nick Bowen, though, currently clear out on top because he has gone even faster than Matty Grill. That knocks Grill down to second. That puts Slugger and Malone side by side on the grid. Big Alan 7th, but Matty Grill still on the front row, but no longer at the front of the field. And here at the Oval, it is surely going to be a rolling start. But Slugger has a great slipstream from the 14 machine of Bob's Jelly. He moves out his way, and Slugger goes to the top of the standings with a great amount of slipstream from Bob's Jelly. He is going to have to send a thank you card after this one to Bob's Jelly. What a fantastic amount of slipstream around the second half of the lap there. Puts Slugger at the top of the standings. Does Matty Grill have anyone in front of him just yet? Look how lonely it is for Matty Grill. You can hear him going slowly through the chicane. Is he going to be looking for somebody? No, that sounds like he's full throttle. Amazingly, in the Pontiac Solstice, this is full throttle. No, he's not going to have anyone. He's going wide here, but he's not going to have anyone to support him with 2 minutes 40 left on the clock. He's coming up to his final lap, which means Slugger very possibly could be starting the championship race from pole position. Can Matty Grill cause an upset with no slipstream? I highly doubt it. Eric Martin, he attended his first race week last week and battled at the front with Dempsey and Malone for the race win. Couldn't pull it off, but he's 5th place right now ahead of Malone. So looking to cause another upset possibly. And if he gets another good result, he could actually go into the top 20 in the standings even with only 2 races completed, because in this 60-plus field of drivers, there are a number of drivers with only a few points to their names. Matty Gwill pushing hard at the end of qualifying here, but with drivers not really getting the tow that Slugger did, I don't think anyone's going to go any higher up the grid right now. When we get to that checkered flag, we are going to have a look at how the grid is going to line up for the championship race. Because this is the last race of the season. We've had 10. This is the last one to go. If you do want to catch up on any of the races that you've missed so far this season, head over to youtube.com/@BeehiveBill and go to the Beehive Bill Broadcasting YouTube channel, because we have all of the race replays over there, plus the extended highlights that you can sit and binge watch. But don't worry, that's not all, because coming up is going to be our season review of the opening season of the Matt Malone Patreon League. It is going to be an extremely long video of the entire season, of how it's played out, with some interviews with the drivers out on the track. So it is going to be a great watch, and that will be coming up, I'm hoping by next Saturday, but it has already taken me a very long time to edit, so it's likely going to come up by the end of August, where we can review the whole of the season. That will be streamed live here on Twitch, and then available to watch straight away after that on YouTube. So be sure to hit that follow button here on Twitch to be notified when I do go live, so you don't miss it. And be sure to go and head over to the Beehive Bill YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when all of the videos are published. That was the qualifying session over, so let's look at how the final race of the season is going to line up. Championship contender Slugger will start on pole position ahead of Nick Bowen. Directly behind Slugger is his championship rival. They're tied on points. It's Matty Gwill. Meckham will start from 4th. 5th position will be Eric Martin, and Matt Malone will start from 6th. 7th position will be Mintu the White Husky ahead of Bob's Jelly. Powski will start 9th, and Aulatufu could technically tie the championship, starts in 10th. Tony Jabroni will be in 11th ahead of Stingray Graham. 13th will be Provi ahead of Extra Pickles. Jagelbomb will start in 15th alongside Sean Sims. The Hernster, Lap Traffic, Turbo Snail and Vincent Patterman round out your top 20. The top 20 scoring points in the race, of course. Rory Bauman starts on row number 11. Alongside him is DDO Deadman. Totally Racing will start 23rd ahead of Right Click. And Ed Redfish, all in his own, in the 13th row of the grid, will start in 25th position. Just the end of qualifying coming up as drivers finishing their laps. Nobody running a lap time fast enough with Slipstream to improve. So the grid that we just ran through will be the grid. I lie. Aulatufu finds time at the very end to move from 10th to 6th, knocking down Matt Malone and championship rival to 7th. So I did lie there. Big Al improving over Matt Malone at the very end of that session. But qualifying is now done. Drivers will be preparing themselves for the start of the 20-minute race to finish the season 1 of Matt Malone's Patreon League. What a season it has been. This race is going to be no different. The slowest cars of the year. It is going to be the closest race of the year. Who is going to be your champion? Can Matty Gwill defend the top of the championship? Can Slugger move himself ahead and discount the countback? Can Al Latifu take over the absent Richard Dempsey for third in the championship standings. 4 prizes. Can he beat Malone outright? Or will Malone get third in this championship? It is all going to come down to the next 20 minutes of racing action here on iRacing at the home of motorsport. It's the Daytona International Speedway. Not many laps are going to be raced, as my estimations say 9 laps for this race. 9 laps around Daytona International Speedway for round 11. The final race of the season. The drivers are on the back straight, lining up for a rolling start, which I believe is discounting the oval race at Charlotte. Only the second time we are starting a road race from a rolling start. The last time we did this was at Okayama at round number 1. The pace truck out the front. Hopefully only 1 lap of pacing action for the drivers today, and not the 2 that we saw in Okayama. But it is going to all come down to this. And it's all going to come down to the championship standings. Here they are on the right-hand side. That's the top 9. The top 10 does include Checkers, but Checkers not racing today, unfortunately. The pacing will start in a moment's time. 20 minutes on the clock up in the left that you can see. Slugger at this point will take the championship lead. Matty Grill would take second ahead of Matt Malone and Big Alan fourth. Dempsey, with no points being scored, will take fifth. At this point, Nick Bowen will move up into 6th position. Stingray Graham will move down to 7th. Meckham will hold on to 8th ahead of Bob's Jelly. But we'll keep that over on the right-hand side so we can keep an eye on how this is going to play out, because Nick Bowen is also wanting to fight in with that championship, looking for 6th in that Doritos number 23 machine. But it's the 502 of Slugger that we're really going to be watching here on the left-hand side of the circuit. He'll be the inside into turn 1. When is he going to go? The Pontiac Solstices are back here on iRacing for the final round of the Matt Malone Patron League. We head up towards the timing line. Slugger is preparing our drivers for the launch here. At the start of this race, 11 races to turn out this amazing inaugural season. The green flag is out. You can't tell it, but they're accelerating away. Slugger pulls away. That's Matty Quill looking to the inside of Nick Bowen up towards turn number 1. If he can get that move, it looks like he can, but he breaks a bit early here. A lot of drivers going nice and careful at the start here, especially our championship contenders. Martin, not one of those, is pushing with Meckham side by side. Nick Bowen is trying to get back around the outside of Matty Quillis. Has a big incident in the background there. Stingray Graham, right click, and Provi look like they are involved in that towards the back of the field. Provi has got a meatball flag. There is a faster flare, but he will be down pit lane. Somehow Nick Bowen is holding on to P2 still side by side with Matty Quill. Matty Quill pops ahead here as they come up towards turn number 6. Heavy on the brakes here. Nick Bowen once again up the inside of Matty Quill. Matty Quill will get the inside line through turn number 7 and onto the oval. Who is Slugger going to try and get the slipstream to? It's going to have to be Matty Quill, because Matty Quill moves through. We are now going to show the standings as we go up onto the line, as Matty Quill is extremely wide onto the oval here. He's not going to get the push. He is not going to get the slipstream here. But look at those leading 3 drivers. They've already pulled a substantial gap to the drivers behind. championship contenders Big Al and Matt Malone are in 6th and 7th next to each other in this big fight of drivers. There's Matt Malone in the number 22 machine. Surprisingly, no Matt Malone livery on that machine. I wonder why that is. Up towards the base over. That's the 14 of Bob's Jelly. Goes to the inside of the 22 of Matt Malone. Takes that position. Big Al is off. He's going to get a slowdown. In these cars, how much is that going to affect them as he goes along? Look at that. He is already having to move out of the way and give the position to Matt Malone. He doesn't want to. He tried to move down. He couldn't. He now tucks behind Matt Malone. Let's have a look at how the championship standings are going to be then. We're going to have that up for the rest of the race so we can see the championship fight out at the top. Well, this is inside the top 10. Missing drivers are Richard Dempsey in 5th, as it looks like that was Mintu the White Husky, it's Sean Sims, number 5 machine, falling down quite heavily towards the back then. This is the fight up at the front. Slugger is pulling away, but Matty Grill gets up the inside of Nick Bowen. They're side by side here for P2. Matty Grill is going to want to dispatch Nick Bowen as quickly as possible because Slugger is his championship contender, not Nick Bowen. Bowen wants to hold on to this because it will give him 6th in the championship if he can hold on to 2nd. It can keep him in 6th actually if he holds on to 3rd. So Matty Grill moves through this time. Will he run wide going through turn 7 onto the oval again? Slugger has a gap of about 0.8 of a second here as Matt Malone goes up the inside of Bob's Jelly and moves back up to 6th position, and he's going side by side with Eric Martin here. Martin tucks up into racing formation as they go over, well, through turn 7 and up to the oval. A bit of a tighter line there from Bob's Jelly. Matty Grill keeps it right where he needs to be this time. And how is this going to be looking from the back end of a Slugger's machine? The driver's there. A bit of a gap right now. That is what Slugger is going to want to see, but it's closing already. The gap coming down, you can see on the left-hand side, that gap just closing as we go onto the braking zone into the chicane. Matty Grill only 2.5 tenths back now. Could this be an opportunity for him as we go up towards the back of the oval? Turn number 12 here, and then to the timing line. A bit of a gap, 2.5 tenths right now. Is Nick Bowen going to push Matty Grill? It's down to a 10 as Matty Grill is going to go for the lead in the championship. He's on the outside. He's still being pushed by Bowen. Is Meckham going to push Slugger? It's a bit too late to push now, but Matty Grill takes the lead. Slugger brakes early, doesn't want to have any contact. It's still early in this race. 5 minutes down, 15 to go. Slow up, Slugger gets a good run on the exit there. Meckham side by side with Bowen. They are fighting out for 6th in the championship. Meckham's going to want to beat Bowen. Bowen is up the inside of Meckham. Why is it always so far away? There we go. We can finally see this fight for P number 3, Meckham and Nick Bowen. It is going to be Meckham on the inside through the kink, and then it is going to be switching to the outside, but actually he's already got that move done on Nick Bowen behind, as Didio Deadman's going to need some repairs on his machine. The number 9 of Aulatufu trying to go around the outside of Bob's Jelly, but it's just inviting Powski here. Aulatufu obviously wanting to try and find a move past Matt Malone if he could. Of course, with Matt Malone being discounted from the championship, this would put Aulatufu in position to take 3rd with our prizes for the championship. Nick Bowen pushing Meckham now. Slugger 9/10 of a second behind Matty Grill. But is Matty Grill going to be now chased down like we saw before as we ride on the rear of the back end of Matty Grill's car? That's Slugger behind getting pushed up towards the braking zone into the bus stop chicane. 7 tenths per second. It did close down by 2 tenths. Slugger not getting the push like Matty Quill did. Matty Quill stays low, goes up just before the cones. You are allowed to do that. It is in the legalities of the rules. You can see 3 wide in the background there. Pawski, Bob's Jelly and Big Al as they settle themselves down with Bob's Jelly ahead of Pawski. Big Al still in 9th. Here comes Slugger. 4 tenths, 3.5, 3 tenths. It's not going to be enough, but this is a great view to watch Slugger try to catch onto the back of Matty Quill. Is there going to be a move up towards turn number 1? As Matt Malone goes fastest overall in 6th place right now. Very wide line from Martin in the background, and that's going to allow Matt Malone up and through. Matt Malone side by side here with Nick Bowen as well. That's going to help Mecham in the championship, and Matt Malone breaks early. Nick Bowen going nice and tight. Malone going for the run on the exit, but Martin has got some speed as well. Is Martin going to push Bowen? No, he tucks to the left. He's going to follow Malone. Malone moves to the right to help Nick Bowen and not allow Martin through. But he gets back onto the racing line through now. Martin side by side with Bowen. Martin on the outside. Bowen is going to keep the inside line. He keeps it tight. He keeps that position. And it looks like he's going to hold that position over Martin as they head up towards turn 7. Matt Malone now 4th position in this race, giving him a good amount of points as well. Big Al, where he sits right now in 10th, the championship is going to go to Richard Dempsey for 3rd place. They are tied on points, but Dempsey has 3 victories and Al Latufu has none, which means that Richard Dempsey will take those 3rd place championship prizes. Even though Matt Malone's in 3rd, he will be discounted from this race. Slugger being chased by Mecham. Is Mecham going to help Slugger through turn 12 and up towards the start-finish line? Or is he going to fight? Because if he's going to help, that will really allow Slugger to catch up to Matty Quill. If he's not going to push, actually that being said, Matty Quill has had a really slow run through the chicane that time around. Here comes Slugger. He moves to the outside line. Slugger and Matty Quill fighting for the championship, fighting for the race win here at Daytona. Slugger on the outside takes the lead, and here comes Mecham to get involved and try and help Slugger perhaps in taking the lead in this championship. He can't tuck it up the inside because you've still got more Matty Quill there. Matty Quill and Mecham side by side. Pawski, black flag from inside the top 10 is going to help Big Al in his fight for 3rd in the prize championship, 4th overall in the championship. A late braking there from Matty Quill as he holds on to 2nd. He's still behind Slugger. Halfway through the time, we're on lap 5 of the 9 expected laps here. As we head up now through towards turn number 6, it's about 4 tenths of a second. Matt Malone looking to try and take 3rd, possibly get involved in the fight for the lead of this race. He can't, well, he can win the championship if something happens to Slugger or Matty Quill, if he wants to force something to happen there, but I doubt he will. But he's certainly looking to try and take the 3rd win of the season. If Slugger or Matty Quill win here, they will take a 3rd victory this season and tie Richard Dempsey. Like I said, if Dempsey was here all season long, he has finished all 6 of his races inside the top 5. He could be dominating this championship right now. Of course, he would have some drop points as well. Oh no, some connection issue for Slugger out the front there. That's not what you want to see. He had a quick build, but it looks like he is fine. Matty Quill moves to the inside, try and maybe hold up on Mecham because he doesn't actually go for the move on Slugger now, but it could be a move within the next lap or 2. Or is he now going to try and stay behind up until the end. That's going to be a very risky choice to make because you've got the drivers behind like Meckham, who has got some good speed on the outside. Matty Grill just doesn't look too fast through the bus stop chicane. Brake lights on for Matt Malone as he goes to push Matty Grill. Is that the choice he should have made? I don't think so, because here comes Martin. Some good speed on the outside. Is Meckham going to hold second this time? We've got Matty Grill on the inside. This is for the lead. 6 cars. Someone just blew their engine. Who was it? Was it one of the leading 6? It was. It was Nick Bowen. Nick Bowen blows his engine from that fight. Meckham side by side with Malone. Malone on the outside line as Matty Grill has taken the lead in this race. In all of that, Nick Bowen loses 6th place in the championship all the way down to 9th place. Meckham will take 6th right now. Matt Malone is 3rd in this race ahead of Meckham. Meckham is fighting with Eric Martin. Martin going for the alternate line. It doesn't quite work the switchback in slow cars like these. Meckham holds on to 4th right now. Matty Grill is leading this train of drivers, but it is not going to stay that way with the slipstream that they'll obviously be getting as they continue on here. The top 5 in this fight right now. As this fight continues on, it is an amazing fight for first, with these drivers separated all together by just over a second. 2 trains of drivers right now. Malone pushing Slugger out of the front. Meckham and Martin pushing each other right now. So a little bit of a gap forming, but that surely will change as we're going to come up to 3 to go at the line as we come up towards the final 5 minutes of the race. Championship standings right now puts Matty Grill at the front of the championship. 4 points clear of Slugger. They are the 4 points he is gaining over Slugger right now. How much is Matt Malone going to get himself involved in this championship fight? Is he going to choose someone to push over another driver? He chose to push Matty Grill over Nick Bowen. No, Meckham last lap. Slugger doesn't go for it. He stays behind. Slugger staying behind Matt Malone. He's going for it. He doesn't care. This is a championship fight. Matt Malone dives to the apron and takes the lead of the race here at Daytona. Matty Grill is in 2nd and Martin takes 3rd. Side by side with Slugger right now as they head up towards turn 5. Some issues in the background for a few drivers. Some smoke kicking up. Slugger side by side with Martin, but he is through right now as this battle continues. Side by side still from Slugger and Martin. Martin not giving up. He doesn't care about this championship fight either. They just all want to win the race as we come through turn number 6. Can Slugger keep the car ahead of Martin this time? No! Martin keeps it to the inside. No, Martin backs out and cannot keep it to the inside of turn number 7. Matty Grill extremely wide onto the oval there. That's going to give Slugger an advantage. Is Slugger going to be pushed by Martin? These top 5 drivers have opened up their gaps a little bit. In fact, you can count Bob's Jelly, Aula Tufu and Jagelbomb into this fight as well right now as we come up towards the final 2 laps. No slipstreaming there. Matty Grill doesn't want to get too close to Matt Malone just yet. Is he going to wait for the last lap of this race? Slugger behind is going to want to get pushed. Malone and Grill could work together here to pull away from the field behind. Meckham on a slightly different line to Martin just behind there. In fact, Martin and Meckham side by side. Meckham's got the overlap. This is not going to be helping Slugger because there is no one there to push him. What is Matty Gwill going to do? He's sticking behind. He wants to win, even if he doesn't win the race. If he can just pull away from Slugger here, he will win the championship. Or is he just going to stick behind for the white flag next time around? Meckham, Bob's Jelly and Martin all involved in the fight there. Aulatufu is catching into this one as well. Aulatufu will take 4th in the championship and the prize is for 3rd right now. Bob's Jelly makes a move around the outside of Meckham. Meckham keeps it on the inside though. Will hold that position as the 14 machine pushes himself wide. It's side by side between Malone and Matty Gwill for the race lead. Matty Gwill on the outside of the kink through turn 5. It will turn to the inside, but he just doesn't keep the overlap. Matt Malone stays ahead right now. Slugger 6/10 down. We'll be hoping for some fighting to go on between the drivers ahead so he can get involved in this one. Because if he can't close up that gap, it'll just be a drag race between Matt Malone and Matty Gwill at the very end of this one. Slugger is going to want to get himself involved. Very wide run onto the oval by Malone and Gwill. 0.3 of a second between the two of them. A further 0.7 between Matty Gwill and Slugger. And they are our championship contenders, of course. So they are the ones that we are going to want to keep an eye on in this race if we can. But right now, it is Matty Gwill all over the rear end of Slugger, of Matt Malone, sorry, out in front. As we can see, the fight between the two drivers of Slugger and Matty Gwill, as Matty Gwill has had another slow bus stop. Matt Malone is out front. He can win this though. That's fine. This is the championship fight we're watching. It's between Matty Gwill and Slugger, 2nd and 3rd. And this is a huge amount of time after losing a 2nd last lap. Matty Gwill loses it down to P3. Matt Malone, Slugger onto the apron. There is slipstream behind. There is a big battle behind. But as we head on to the white flag lap, this is the fight we are watching for P number 2 in this race. But they are continuing on at the moment. Who can do this? Who is going to be able to win the championship? Matt Malone leads the race. Slugger is in 2nd, leading the championship. Matty Gwill is in 3rd. Who is going to end up on top at the end of this one? We head into turn number 6 for the final time. Half a second between Malone and Slugger. 0.3 between Slugger and Gwill. Onto the oval we go for the last time. Different racing lines. A much tighter line for Slugger. Is that going to give Gwill a good advantage? It gives him some advantage here. You can see that gap between the two of them coming down here. The gap between Malone and Slugger, 6/10. Slugger is going to be getting a distant tow. But Matt Malone is surely going to win this one. It's down to half a second. Matty Gwill goes to the inside. He can't make the move into the bus stop. He's going to have to make the move up to the line. This is for the championship. Matt Malone runs slowly through the bus stop. It's going to give Slugger a good amount of tow. Matty Gwill is out of it. Matt Malone is going to pull Slugger to the championship. But is it going to be a championship win for Slugger? Can he get past Matt Malone as we head up to the oval, to the line? Slugger is in P1. Matt Malone's on the inside. Slugger wins. He wins at Daytona and he wins the championship. Matt Malone takes P2. Matty Quill takes third place and second in the championship. Oh my word, I've lost my voice entirely across the line. But it's victory! Victory for Slugger! It is a race win for this man here, Slugger. It is championship win for this man, Slugger. 3 victories this year, and he takes the championship in the final race of the season. What an amazing move! What a fantastic season! Oh my word! Let's have a look at the race results here at Daytona as the drivers celebrate with Slugger by crashing into him. Slugger wins by less than 1/10 of a second here at Daytona ahead of Matt Malone. Matty Quill takes third ahead of Bob's Jelly, and Meckham takes fifth. It's Big Al in sixth and Jagelbaum takes seventh, and a great race from Minty the White Husky takes eighth. Sean Sims took ninth ahead of Eric Martin in 10th position. 11th was for Tony Jabroni. 12th position for the Hernster. 13th for Vincent Petterman. Lap Traffic took 14th. 15th was the Turbo Snail. Right Click, Extra Pickles, Totally Racing, Stingray Graham and Powski score the final points of the season. Rory Bauman took 21st ahead of Provi, DDO Deadman, Nick Bowen and Ed Redfish. Nick Bowen and Ed Redfish, issues for both of them and out of the race. What an amazing season that's been, and that takes us all the way to the end of the championship. With as much detail as we can, because I will be missing names for drivers who are not here today, Slugger took that championship in the final race and will win the Matt Malone Patreon League season number 1. Matty Quill took second, followed by Matt Malone in third, and Big Al in fourth, taking away from Richard Dempsey, who was not here today and who finishes in fifth. Big Al will get the rewards for finishing in third though, because we discount Malone from that standings. Meckham ended up taking 6th in the championship, 1 point clear of Stingray Gray, and Bob's Jelly took 8th place in the end ahead of Nick Bowen. And at the back of that, in the top 10, was Checkers. I hope you have enjoyed this season just as much as I have. Watch all of the previous races over on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel, or if you don't have time for that, it's a long old time, you can catch up on the quick, short, extended highlight videos over there as well. Coming up within the next few weeks, as soon as I'm able to, we will have the season review video. That will be streamed live here on Twitch first, so be sure to hit that follow button so you are notified when I do go live, so that you do not miss that video. If you do miss the video, unfortunately, well, you can still catch up with it over on the YouTube channel, because it will be released straight after the stream, so be sure to go and subscribe to the Beehive Bill YouTube channel to be notified when that video does get published, along with any other highlights, such as the highlights here from round 11 at Daytona. I hope you have had a fantastic time with me this season. I certainly have had a fantastic time. I want to thank Matt Malone for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to broadcast his league races. I have been watching Matt Malone through different channels over the last decade, and it has been fantastic watching him go from his old place with himself, going through all those stages up to where he is now, is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that he is allowing small creators such as myself to piggyback off of him is brilliant. So I want to give a huge, huge thank you to Matt Malone, and I will see you in season number 2 because I am coming back. We are going to get bigger. We are going to get better. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. From me, Beehive Bill. Or should I say, from me, Bill. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.